Good morning, Matea. Thanks for coming in on short notice.
Not a problem. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Are you Thomas Andrew Lemunion?
Yes, sir.
I'm Judge Middleton. You have a bench warrant in this case in file 231709FY. You were charged with delivery or manufacturing methamphetamine, possession of meth on school or library property, 2 counts, receiving, concealing stolen firearms, 3 counts, possession of a firearm by a felon, 2 counts, felony firearm, and maintaining a drug house. The bond was set in the amount of $35,000. It was posted by a bonding company. You were given a bond with pretrial services and you promptly failed to appear. I sent a notice of bond forfeiture to your bonding company, hoping they would actually do something to try to locate you. You never made contact with the pretrial services person, and we just sort of lost track of you. I saw when I got in this morning that you'd been arrested over the weekend on November 22nd on some new charges. We need to get this case back on track. Also here with us on the screen is the public defender, Matea Paycheck. She works in that office. Your original attorney is Mr. John Bush. I'm going to get this case back on track. I'm going to set a pre-exam conference for December 12th at 8:30 and a preliminary examination if needed for 12/19/23 at 1 o'clock. Bond here is $100,000 cash or surety. I think the bailiff said it, or the magistrate said it, at $100,000 on your new charges. The magistrate will be seeing you this afternoon on the other charge. Now, I don't know if you're aware of this. You also have a landlord-tenant case that was set for court. It's set for this afternoon. And I didn't think you were going to be there until I saw that you'd gotten arrested. So I will Zoom you back in this afternoon for your landlord-tenant case. I'm not sure exactly what time it is. I think it's 1:30 or thereabouts. Are you still at the South Park Street address?
Yes, I remember that.
All right, that's the one they're trying to evict you from.
What happened here with this first case is we had a preliminary hearing, and I thought that was the first case, the first court date. And I don't know what happened on the 19th.
All right, well, don't say any more about it. I don't want you to compromise yourself, but that was September. I don't know where you went. Your lawyer didn't hear from you. The bonding assistant, the pretrial services person never heard from you. And I tried to light a fire under your bonding company. Did you ever hear from the bonding company?
Yeah, I got a letter from them this week.
Okay. A letter saying what? You failed to appear?
Yeah, I did call the pretrial people a dozen times. There was voicemails left each time. There was phone records of it. Nobody ever answered their phone. Nobody ever called back.
All right, well, we'll explore that further. You're here now, so we got the case back on track. I'll see you this afternoon on the landlord-tenant case. And I'll see you on this case on December 12th. You had an attorney, Mr. Bush. I don't know why you didn't call him, but, all right. Well, we'll discuss that further.
He said there was nothing he could do for me.
Yeah, there was a bench warrant out for your arrest, so you just waited around to get rearrested. All right, I'll see you this afternoon. You're good to go.
Yeah, well, remember that I'm good to go. But yeah, it was all misunderstanding. I didn't know anything about the first court date.
All right, well, don't say any more about it. I don't want you to compromise your rights, but you're free to go, and I'll see you this afternoon. I'll let Mr. Bush know you're in custody. The magistrate's going to arraign you on the new methamphetamine charges from 11/22 and probably appoint maybe a different lawyer. You might end up with two lawyers.
I've got a lawyer already. I hired one.
All right, Mr. Lemunion, you're good to go.
I hired a new lawyer, so Mr. Bush released.
All right, well, we can discuss that on the record when he's here. All right, you're good to go.
Yeah.
Oh, Deputy Kindig, this is Judge Middleton. I need Thomas Lemunion again for a landlord-tenant matter. It's set for 125, so there's no urgency, but I thought you'd give. All right, thank you. Bye. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
I'm Judge Middleton. I'm here at the courthouse in Centerville. Your defendant was whereabouts unknown, but he got arrested. He's in jail. And I have summoned him at 125, and I don't know what happened. So give me a minute to see if I can figure out where he is. He has a lot of other problems.
They usually go hand in hand.
Yes. I thought I saw it flash across my screen, but hello, booking, Judge Middleton calling. I had Thomas Lemunion briefly and he flashed out. I need him for a landlord-tenant case. The room, the problem with the room. All right. All right, thanks. I'll talk to you tomorrow, see how you're doing in your advanced years. No, we're not. Okay, thank you. Bye. All right, they had problems with one of the rooms and they're moving them, and we'll deal with them here in a minute. I saw him this morning on a criminal matter, and then the magistrate's gonna see him on another matter, and I advised him about this. So let's see what we got. We have 4 different rooms they can connect from the jail, and some work better than others, and some are more convenient for the court officers than they are for the court. But they don't remember the bad old days when they had to put the defendant in a car and drive him over here. I'm not sure who this is. we've had a number of people with difficulty logging in, which I'm sure you experience a lot.
Unfortunately, yes.
Good afternoon. Who am I speaking with? Good afternoon, Samsung SM. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
What's your name?
Raylan Houghton.
All right. Raylyn, not Raylan.
Yes.
That's somebody different. Alyssa Pretty is here, and I'll bring her in. And we're waiting for an inmate from the jail, and that's our next case. We'll do that one, and then we'll address yours.
Okay.
Here's the jail. I'm not familiar with this room. All right, good afternoon. Mr. Lemunion, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Miss Pretty, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, this is Judge Middleton. I'm at the courthouse in Centerville, and you are both here on a landlord-tenant case. Mr. Lemunion, yours is a land contract forfeiture.
Yeah.
All right, wait a minute, not a forfeiture, not land contract.
Yeah, I don't like what it-
Sheriff's sale. And Miss
Yeah.
Pretty, yours is a termination of tenancy. Your landlord, Miss Houghton, wants you to move. So each of you is a defendant in a landlord-tenant case. You have the following rights. You have the right to hire an attorney in this matter. If you cannot pay for one, the court must give you information about legal aid assistance, which we already did. But Southwestern Michigan Legal Aid is available if you are eligible, or if they can handle your case, or you may be eligible for some other assistance. But frankly, there is not enough legal services for landlord tenants, for the tenants. You have the right to have the case heard in the county where the property is, and that's what we're doing here. You have the right to demand a jury trial. If you want a jury trial, you must tell the court at your first appearance or make the demand in writing within 5 days of today. You can use Form MC-22 jury demand and file it with the court. You must pay a $50 fee when you make the jury demand or within 5 days, of me explaining the right to you. And the judge gives you a jury waiver fee, a fee waiver. You may not have to pay for the cost of the jury based on income. If your landlord has asked you to be evicted from a residential property because you haven't paid rent, we would be taking a different course of action. These are both a different kind of case. You may be able to reach an agreement with the landlord by going through mediation. So far, that hasn't happened. But if both parties agree, the court can set up a mediation with a Citizens Mediation Services, Inc., our local mediation agency. If you do reach an agreement with the landlord, that means the case gets dismissed. You could be eligible for the filing of a conditional dismissal. If that is done, the court must provide you with a form for this or tell you where to find it online. Let's first talk with Century Bank and Trust versus Thomas Lemunion. Attorney Aaron Jansen of Coldwater is here. I don't know if we've met before. Have you been to court here before?
I've only had the privilege of being in front of you a handful of times, Judge, not often.
I apologize then. I haven't seen Mr. Lillis in a long time. I used to see him quite a bit. Anyway, welcome back then. Mr.
Thank you.
Lemunion is in custody in the St. Joseph County Jail. This is a a sheriff's sale, forfeiture action. There is no lease. The sale was March 16th of 23, and more than 6 months have passed since that time. The service was by alternate service or substituted service on a tenant, Jared Tyler. Mr. Lemunion has been AWOL for a while. We haven't been able to find him. And he got picked up over the weekend on this and some other matters. Mr. Lemunion, are you still even in the house?
Yeah, I am. Most of all my stuff's still there. It was broken into over the weekend. And
Who is Jared Tyler?
there is no Jared Tyler. I'm not Jared Tuttle.
Well, maybe I can't read the handwriting, which I shouldn't impugn anybody else's handwriting. Well, who is in there?
Jared Tuttle was in there.
Well, who is he?
His friend. He was standing there with us.
Is he still there?
As far as I know, I haven't talked to him since I've been here.
All right. Well, the law requires that I continue this matter at least 7 days. Ms. Jensen, Mr. Lemunion is in custody on some serious charges from earlier this year and some brand new ones. He has two $100,000 bonds, so it's unlikely he's going to bond out. Mr. Lemunion, if the bank gets what they ask for, when we next meet December 4th, you would have 10 days to get your stuff out of there.
Right.
Do you have the ability to do that?
So we hope to make a deal with him. We can keep the house and not give it back to him. But I mean, if they're not gonna willing to deal.
Well, that ship has sailed. There was a sheriff's sale back in March. And
But all they did was just bought it at the sheriff's sale, so it's the bank's still anyway. They were the purchaser. They still have the opportunity to be able to rewrite the loan, because they never gave me the opportunity to rewrite the loan to begin with.
well, they could. You're not in much of a position.
No, you're
Pending.
right, I'm not.
Felony firearm charges and habitual offender status on 2 separate cases. So
right.
you're presumed to be innocent, but
And I
you've got
I wish
2
we were a
substantial
person-
bonds.
I wish we were
All
a
right,
person we could talk about.
Say that again, please.
So I wish we were a person that we could talk about this. But
Well, I
you're
can't
not.
talk to you ex parte, but I
Yeah,
know
well-
you believe that everything was a big misunderstanding. I think the
As
prosecutor
far
has a
as
different
fixing the
view of
court
that.
date, it was. And I know you were upset that I wasn't there, but man, everything got to be a snowball after that. It was my fault I didn't make it, but it wasn't. I didn't know I had it. By the time I did know I had it, it was over with, and you had to give me failure to appear, you revoked it. And it was
Yes.
his first appearance.
Well, we'll sort it out. But anyway, I'm going to continue this to 2:10 PM next Monday, December 4th. Does that work for you, Ms. Jensen?
I do have another court hearing over here, but I should be able to make it work.
What time is your hearing there?
It's at 2, but there's already court orders, so I should be done very quickly.
Which court is it in?
It's actually with the friend of the court. It's a conciliation conference.
How about if we back it up to like 2:40? Does that work for you?
Yes, yep, that would be perfect. I for sure should be done by then.
All right. Mr. Jensen, Mr. Tuttle is also subject to this. If the bank gets what they ask for and you're forced to move, It will also include all tenants.
Right.
But right now, you're not in much of a position to even deal with anything. And it's unlikely the bank is going to renegotiate this contract.
Yeah, it's unlikely.
All right, well, we'll address it further next Monday, December 4th at 2:40. Do you have any further questions?
No, who we contacted the bank?
Who's the contact at the bank?
Stephanie Nichols was the one that you would need to talk to.
Oh, that's the one that talked to me while I was laying in the hospital in a coma. Or not quite in a coma anymore, but after I got hit by a deer a year and a half ago. And she come in and said something, I don't remember now what all she was talking about, but I remember it ended when she was gonna go in with foreclosure. And I was in and out of consciousness for 6 weeks.
Well, this didn't just happen all at once. I
Oh, you're
suspect the
right.
payment hasn't been made for more than a year. And then
Yeah.
the sale
Yeah.
was last March and you had 180 days to redeem it. I'm not even sure that you're actually there, but
We filed,
I don't.
I filed bankruptcy last January and because I didn't have a bank account, everything got screwed up there. And they had to figure the bankruptcy out. And I never got contacted by the bank anymore.
Well, it seems to be a pattern. None of this is your fault. Everything's a big mistake.
This was my
And,
fault. I
it's
didn't
all
make the
just a
payment.
big misunderstanding. But
Well,
anyway,
I
this
know.
is a dire straits. If they get what they ask for, you got 10 days from next week to vacate.
A lot of it is my fault, but I got hit by a deer doing 70, and I had 2 strokes in the last year, and this is all in the last 14 months.
All right. Well, sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
All right, I'll
so
see you next.
my head's been a little scrambled. I spent some time in a coma. I spent time in ACU for 6 weeks. I've been pretty messed up, man.
All right. Well, you got some quiet time for a while till I see you on the 12th,
Okay.
but I'll see you on this one next Monday
Okay, man.
at 2:10.
2:40.
2:40, excuse me. He'll be here when I bring him, but 2:40 is the time to work for your calendar. Thank you.
Thank you. And Your Honor, you will provide notice to him at the jail, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And
wanna make sure.
he's not likely to bond out. So I will make sure that he's here by Zoom once again.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a great
Bye,
day.
thank you.